Good evening, good evening, good evening. Saturday night. My chair's rolling away from me again. How's it going? We're all doing well. We played little Atomfall. We are on our extended week run at the moment. In that I'm doing 6 streams in a week instead of the usual 5. As we've got, well, 3 games plus Fallout on the go at the moment, and lots to get through. So, yeah, potentially even more on the horizon. So, gotta keep at it, otherwise I'm going to end up getting swamped. Yeah. Part 2 for the week, anyway. So, I don't know what the total is. Number 7, there we go. Part 7 of Atomfall, which I'm looking forward to. He says clicking on that already. Yeah, definitely looking forward to diving into this. Had good fun last night. It was mildly frustrating in that we were trying to unnecessarily get through the Druids camp without getting into combat with anybody. Because Mother Jago kind of made it sound like that's what she wanted us to do as part of a mission for her. But as it turned out, it wasn't necessary. Oh well, that's the way it goes. But yeah. Very, very cool nonetheless. We'll get the show on the road. Definitely enjoying this. Yeah, lots to get through though. But Atomfall, South of Midnight, and Avowed all on the go at once. Evening, MB. How's it going? My hand is itchy. My cat scratches are healing. Right, so yeah, we found the stuff that Mother Jago wanted us to get from the Druids camp at the castle there. And a whole cave underneath it that they're worshipping their voice in the soil in. Logging mills and all manner of other bits and pieces going on here. As soon as you start to get, well, here-ish, I think it was, and somewhere out here, this whole area is basically locked off Druid territory, and they will attack you on sight in it. They pretty much attack you on sight everywhere else as well, but there they explicitly attack you on sight. So there's this whole area I've not really explored yet. There's a tunnel there, that looks interesting. I think we might do this and come at it this way, because I know I've been here before, we've done all this. We've not been around that way, so it's the last kind of section we've not walked through, so it's a bit of a long way round, 2 sides of a triangle rather than one. But I think that might be a fun bit of exploration. Yeah, it's been a good day, I think, Henry. I've mostly spent my day... Well, I had a lie-in, which was required, because in her adorable fashion, Kitty Cat did her best to make sure I needed one. And then... yeah, spent most of the afternoon playing Elden Ring. Crossed the Weeping Peninsula off. Most of it, anyway. Probably a couple of bits that could go back to at some point. But there are a couple of bits that I could go back to at some point, but... yeah, I had fun with that. Maybe set my headphones back into place. I didn't quite mean to do that. I also watched, while I was in between other things, the new Xbox Reacts EXP thing with Jonathan Ferguson and Dave Jewett reacting to the guns of John Wick. And that was cool, discussing that. And not least of all because one of the things it highlighted is that I was assuming that this thing here was probably modelled on a 1911 until we picked up a 1911 last time. Now, I'm of the opinion that I don't know what it is, but I'm guessing it's supposed to be a Browning high power, judging by the name. Which, yeah, pure speculation on my part, but it would track with the time period and stuff, I think. Yeah, this works for me. Could have gone underneath instead of up and over, couldn't I? Oh dear. Some potentially ordinary druids down there. How's things feeling? Are we having a good one? They're cutting off this way and going that way, which actually will be consistent with what I've seen them do in the past. That works for me. Yeah. That's she's was used, I should say, to having breakfast at like 6 in the morning, or between 6 and 5:30, and obviously we do not do that. Ooh, another helicopter crash. Interesting. So she's having to adjust to that, which we're working on, doing okay. Bit by bit, she's getting better at the idea of having breakfast about 8 o'clock, which is a relief. But this morning she has this whole thing, which is perhaps not the loveliest thing ever, but interesting. She tends to run away. She tends to run away after she's used the cat litter. I think the smell offends her nose, which is understandable because it offends my nose as well. And mine's not as sensitive as hers. Oh, hell no. I mean, that's cool, but I also think it's probably going to attack me. So, yeah, she did that this morning at about 6 o'clock instead of the usual I want feeding. What have we got over here? Just a bridge and stuff. Nothing particularly exciting apart from the telephone box. Alright, okay, I'll leave them to it. Yeah, well, you tend to shoot on sight. I'm not surprised you don't know people. It's not particularly a way to make friends. How are you doing, Chris? You alright? Interesting looking helicopter. Ooh.
Mayday, mayday, mayday. This is Dr. Jago.
Ooh.
My helicopter has come down in Atomfall woods. Damned interference field fried the electronics.
I need to find her later.
There are no survivors. Myself excluded, obviously. Lord, is anyone receiving this? Anyone in the interchange? Of course not. You're all dead in there, aren't you? I'm heading to the village. See if I can't find anyone still alive in this place.
Interesting. So, yeah, we need to find her. We know that much. But we seem to be getting information in reverse order on her. So we've known for a while that she's in the prison belonging to the soldiers' protocol over it in Skithermore. 1 second, the cat has just started being very weird. Yeah, I won't be a minute, hang on. Hello, how are we doing? Okay, we should have sound, but we don't seem to, which is weird. Okay, there we go. Right. Sorry about that, folks. Hey. No, Wi-Fi's up found. Yes, as Felix pointed out, Cat's having issues. She does this thing, she runs away from the cat litter after she's used it. She doesn't like that. And I really mean she runs her ass out of there. But I have tiled floor in the kitchen where the cat litter is, and then laminate floor through most of the downstairs as well. So she's trying to turn corners and getting no traction. And she's just come running in here, as she sometimes does. And she's kind of trying to avoid using her back feet for some reason, which had me worried. I've never seen her do anything like that before. And yeah. She seems fine now. Just like initially a little bit grouchy. She scratched me a bit. But yeah, that obviously had me alarm bells going off. I think what she's done is leapt out the litter tray, as she usually does, slid on the floor and crashed into something and maybe hurt herself a little bit. She runs off too fast. Weird animal. But she seems okay now, so let's keep an eye on her. Anyway, on the subject of Atomfall, Dr. Garrow? One or the other. Anyway, yeah, she was a bigwig in the science, in the interchange, and was doing research there. Presumably got out when the initial incident happened. That hasn't paused, but by pressing the pause button. Okay. Yeah, she got out, presumably around outside the incident happened, and then came back. We now know, crashing in that helicopter. And we knew she came to the village, and we knew she got arrested and thrown into prison by protocol for whatever reason. We don't know why. So she's up on Skethermore somewhere. We need to find her for reasons to do with the interchange, but I'm not quite sure what those reasons are at the moment. Looks like some protocol soldiers, actually, speaking of. He probably won't shoot at me. Not unless I decide to start fights with them. I don't think. Well, they seem to be carrying. That looks like he's got a Sten, I think. Yeah, what's this guy got on him? Also a Sten.
If you just let us have a crack at the outlaws around
And
here,
got a shotty.
we can get rid of them and take their supplies. 2 birds, 1 bullet.
So yeah. Yeah. Yep, sure can. Right, so, not a great deal going on down here beyond that helicopter crash from the look of it. There might be a bit more over that side. Yeah, maybe. There's something there, so I wouldn't mind going and having a look. We'll have a quick wander up there in a minute. We've hit the road. Let me just turn the... Yes, I've knocked the volume down when I took my headphones off. Well, things seem a bit quiet. Don't go up there, those big turrets are quite ornery. So it looks like I might be able to switch them off. At a later date. So yeah, I want to go up here. Stay outside of the walls and then there's something. Yeah, protocol, they're not a nice bunch really, are they? So up there might be some interesting stuff going on. I can't remember what it was I was watching recently, but somebody was talking about liking fast travel more and more in games or something like that in a video. It might have been a Game Ranks thing or something like that. And a bit liking the way fast travel works in some game, and liking to having access to fast travel, that sort of thing. And it's funny, I find as I get older, I'm having the opposite effect happen. I know where those guys are. I'm actually enjoying exploring more and not having fast travel at my disposal. I don't know why, it's just an immersive kind of exploration type vibe thing going on, apparently. For me, anyway. Armoured car thing is quite cool, so picture of that. I'm terribly surprised that this tent has been looted within an inch of its life. One whole shotgun shell that I can't pick up. And a herb. So if I were to continue that way, I would just carry on looping its way up the cliff to the overpass. But have the option. Yeah, I don't mind having the option. I do like it when the exploration, you know, trek there on foot vibe feels good. Red Dead was another example of a game that was like that. There were varying fast travel options from, well, you know, actual fast travel through the trains to what else was there? Fast travel trains, obviously just horseback riding. I'd have been happy with the train and no actual fast travel, but you know, I think I fast traveled maybe like once or twice during the whole time, and that was more just to get pictures. Oh shit! Yeah, shit. This is not the weapon I want. You know what? I'm going to put that in port for now. I'm in rather large trouble right now. That's really not good. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh dear. I got F'd there. Last of Us flashbacks. Yeah, any kind of zombie-esque horror. There's bits of Fallout vibes to it, there's bits of Last of Us, there's bits of all sorts of stuff. Anyway. Yeah, as cool as this thing is, it's so slow, I'm not sure I want to keep it. I don't really like the bow, if I'm honest, either. Not that much. Kind of rather just stick to the firearms. Like other games I do like bows in, not so much this one, I don't think. Very aggressive loading animation, that one. Does this game allow you to be a loot goblin? I didn't imagine very much inventory management. It's not a weight thing, but you've got, what, 4, 8, 9, 10, 12 small slots and 4 big slots, plus the 2 tools. That is it. That is your inventory space. So, I actually quite like it. But you have got the option to store things. Mother Jago, yeah. Inside the interchange there are dispatch tube things that you can use to store well, whatever you want in. Even those have limited capacity though. Should do the job. Make sure this bad boy's loaded. Delivery note for the interchange. George, I've got some more crates I need to shift over to the interchange soon as. Drive them over for me. There's a good fellow. I've drawn you a map because stuff needs to get to the interchange and not end up in the next county like last time. Entrance is marked, so there you go. If you didn't know where it was. I think I see your head now. Holy shit, that fucks you up, doesn't it? Oof. Regretting certain life choices right now. I do like this rifle though. I'm actually going to feel bad about swapping out for something with a scope on it. I do wish they weren't called ferals, though. That's a little too close to Fallout. Not that it's a copyright issue or anything like that, it isn't, but it's just a little bit too similar, you know? Alright. That's the Dr. Go log. Yeah, we already know she was captured and imprisoned. Although the why bit I'm not entirely sure on, but I'll pursue that another time. We've got poison resistance, bleed resistance, burn resistance. All very nice, not in a rush. Surprise attack, thick skin, kill momentum. Damage resistance, crossing speed. I really want this one. Well, not all of them, but anyway. I really don't know what I actually want to use my... That wouldn't be bad for recovery. Neither would thick skin. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I want to use my points on next. Anyway, I got distracted there, didn't I? I was going to craft a bandage or two. Yeah. Ferals, they're called. Very Fallout. Bit too Fallout, really. Well, there's a couple of ways, but along and then up the path's probably the simplest. The part of me wants to sneak around the back and avoid any traffic, but... Good there. Kind of hoping I could sneak up behind him and take him out stealthy like, but well, I might yet be able to do that. Come on. What's the other direction, buddy? Gotcha. Yeah, Mother Jago needing a book back is the current thing. There's a couple of overlaps as well, so we'll consider doing afterwards. Because I need to craft some of the infection resistant stuff that I'm currently infected by in the bottom right there. Yeah, I need to craft a bottle of that to take to somebody in Wyndham Village as well. I think the primary trader in Wyndham Village. Oh, that was that infection clearing, I think. Yeah, I think the primary trader in Wyndham Village is dead now, though, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on that front.
A pleasure to see you again, dear.
I'm sure we'll find more later, though. While we're here, we might as well see what she's got going. Antidotes. Yeah, nothing particularly interesting. I was to say that. Spores. 7. Doesn't tell me what the maximum might be. I'm sure I can trade for a bunch of those, though. What would I be willing to get rid of for it? At least one of those. Seems like it's unreasonably in her favour, that particular deal. Oh crap, I suppose that's going to have to do, isn't it?
There. All done.
Don't think I got the best of that deal. Okay, we've got your book for you. Maybe ask around for a carer. Yeah, possibly. I've got a funny feeling that won't be a thing, but you never know.
Well,
there's no lead on it,
I'll
so.
be honest. You ask anyone to help you round here, and the chances of ever seeing them alive again are not wonderful.
Well, you did send me into a camp of angry druids.
Exception, dear.
Glad I can help you. Glad I could help. Reward wouldn't go amiss. Tell me more about the druids in the woods. Cultists. Do you know the cultists in the castle will try and kill me? You said they stole it from you, but there's no found just otherwise. I'm kind of.
My goodness. Those eyes of yours are sharp, eh, dear? I just hope the mind behind them isn't too narrow. I merely said the druids took it from me and that I wanted you to get it back. There's always more to what people tell you, dear.
Sure enough.
Please take this, a token of my gratitude.
Oh, nice.
It's
That's
a sort of learning juice made by the scientists. You can sometimes find it in their old bunkers.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Came of those boffins and their science, but this stuff is marvelous. It opens the mind, you see. Of course, a fair trading compensation is one thing I can offer. But listen, what is it you need? Truly need? Perhaps an escape from all this suffering?
You help me escape from this place. I want to understand what really went on here. Yeah, that's kind of where I am at the moment. I really want to know what happened here.
You are a curious soul, aren't you?
True that.
I'm pleased. The first step toward escape is understanding. Look, you and I may have more in common than you realize.
You've got a hat decorated with bones and skulls and flowers.
I can send you somewhere where you might find some answers. Something more than I alone can offer. Take this and go to the Speaking Cave. I'll show you where to find it on your map. While you have this, the folk in the woods will let you pass, but only as long as you don't offer violence. There is no need for bloodshed.
You said that about the last place as well, and they tried to murder me.
You'll know it when you see it, believe me.
If this will help me, very well. Enough ring, can't you explain what's going on here? Not sure about this. Wait, why make we infiltrate the Druid's castle if you're a part of their religion? Yeah, but...
I'll admit, I was interested to see how resourceful you were. If you and I are to make any progress together, I needed to know you're more than some outlaw or such. Don't think me some mad woman out for violence. Death for the druids? Well, it matters less than you might think. And as for their religion, it is neither theirs nor mine. It is the earth itself from which we all came and where we'll all return. Do as
Seems
I
like you step out in the same thing they're saying to me.
If you are prepared to see, then you'll understand that much more clearly.
We'll see. Mary Poppins from Hell, I think.
Take care.
Can't say I remember Mary Poppins having rat skulls on a hat. Nah. We're not doing a homicidal run. Well, not unless people are attacking me anyway. Speaking Cave is next to the stone circle. I rather thought it... Well, actually, I didn't think it would be, but I had a feeling that spot was going to be relevant in some way later. So there's that. I think what I'm going to do is head to Wyndham Village, turn in a quest there, and then come back and hit this on the way back. So it's not a million miles out of the way. And we can stop by the interchange on the way. That might not be a bad idea. There's the path's over this way, isn't it? Get myself turned around already. A long jog back, but won't be too horrific, I don't think. Always feels like it's further than it actually is. I see, that goes up to the boathouse, doesn't it? Okay. Too soon there. I'm looking in the wrong direction to vault properly. Minor criticism stroke gripe. Dry stone walls, I think I mentioned this before actually, dry stone walls all seem to be roughly the same height in this game, a bit too similarly the same height, and they're way too low. There are plenty that are about this high, but there are a lot of them are like 2-3 times that high. There's still power in here, which is interesting. So, there's the offering. Okay, there's definitely some stuff I can drop off. Probably stash that. Get some stuff to sell. Some decisions at the interchange regarding my loadout. Yeah, there's lots of interesting dynamics and relationships and stuff emerging. Curious as to what she thinks I'm going to learn from leaving an offering in this cave, though. Especially in light of what happened is related to what the scientists were doing at Windscale across the lake there.
Don't know why we're hanging around. We've had all the wood nailed down already.
Yeah, you think that? You might be a little bit wrong, my boys. I could probably sneak past a couple of them.
Don't know why we're hanging around. We've had all that weren't nailed down already. Let's have no... You're not getting away from me. Ah, where's me ammo?
Help me! I'm hit!
Ah, that was crap.
Together! Oh, Christ! Need to reload!
This is not going well.
Go and see what's about!
Where are you?
I'm shooting!
Yep. And that, in a nutshell, it's why guns replaced bows. A bunch of guns lying around on the floor. Where's the last one I popped in the head? Over there, there we are. Right. For now. Ooh. She used one of those roundabouts as a kid. Yeah, me too. I've not been near a parking long enough to know. Sister would have a better idea on that than I would. I don't need that many of those. That's going away. I'm just not going to use it. $1911, some revolvers. Get a decent revolver on the go if I wanted to. Strange Tonic needs some of that. Lots of goodies in here. Do wish this was better organised. Oh, right. That's my mouse being weird. Okay. Yeah, roundabouts definitely are more than lethal enough. Last corpse. There. Trackable leads decreasing. That's what we want to say. So, but other like Jago gives me nothing for the speaking cave. Escape. She might help me escape. Bakery. This is the one that I want to track. There's a whole bunch of stuff at the moment that's pointing me towards Skethermore. I kind of wanted to wrap up with the bits I was doing here first. We've not been through this entrance to Wyndham yet. It's part of the reason I wanted to come this way. Spinning them as fast as you could and then jumping off. Yeah, the ensuing dizziness that was a problem for me.
Keep your nose clean. Leave tomorrow if we could.
All citizens and enlisted men. Speak to a protocol officer if you require access for a legitimate reason.
Here we go.
Here is the blood tastes like sheep dip. Better than nothing, mind.
Yeah, a little commentary like that. I just wish they got it a bit more on the nose. Got the accents a bit better. No, is it better than nothing, mind? Well, that's maybe the Welsh way of putting it, but given that the subtitles are actually correct to the region, it's especially annoying.
Keep it civilized. No troublemakers.
Hand over your weapon and it'll stay civilized. I think there's a stairs there. There's a set of stairs here. I thought there was. Been to Wyndham in a couple of weeks. Couldn't remember my way around for a second. See if we can't have a cup of tea. I've already used that one, and I was hoping it would respawn, but it hasn't. One here? No. One outside the pub? There is. Okay, let's do that then. Cup of black tea, get my health back. Yeah, I'm wondering that myself. I'm guessing nobody, but we'll find out in just a minute, won't we? Space from inventory, so... I get any rewards from Iris
Did you
here?
want something?
Got that tonic you wanted.
Oh Lord, the tonic. Thank you. Look, I don't have much, but please, take this. I really am grateful. So very grateful.
Couple of Cornish pasties and a first aid kit. Oh, that could be worth. Hope the tonic will help. As long as it keeps us from harming anyone, it should be going. Hope it will help.
It should keep my husband's symptoms at bay, at least for a little while. That's all any of us can ask for, eh? To survive just one more day. Pop back another time, you know, if you'd like to see him. Now, I should be getting on. Bye now.
Sure what the quarantine protocol is all about? Tell us your concerns. No, because I express concerns and you haul me off to prison. Or shoot me. Won't you get killed trying to feed her husband the tonic? I'm guessing not. You'd see, judging by what we've read, seems he's not violent towards her.
A contaminated area has been reported in the Skethermore field. Please stay away from there.
Nobody home. We can loot what's left, but as soon as we drove him off, old shopkeeps, he'll be dead in the woods now. Outlaws, I think, got him actually. Wary of him getting out. Yeah, I'm not unconcerned about that, but she's got him locked away upstairs. So.
There has been an increase in outlaw activity on Slattondale. Avoid Slattondale until the area is once again declared safe.
Resolved, the bakery. There you go. So...
Let's have no trouble, right?
Shut it, you. Yeah, I think that's... Doing some stuff from Mother Jago. I think it's probably going to be the play right now. I don't think there's anybody else to sell to around here.
Citizens of Wyndham, you are reminded that any building marked as sterilized is off limits prior to demolition. Trespass, serious offense.
Let's go and see if Molly's got anything on her out in Skithermore. Not Skithermore, Slattondale. And from there, we'll make some decisions.
Citizens of Wyndham, acts of insubordination or disrespect against the soldiers protecting you here. You are leaving Wyndham, and the quarantine protocol is no longer responsible for your safety. The area you are entering.
Right. Stay over this way, isn't she? Gotta wait for the heart rate to come back down again.
Hello
Right.
again.
What do you got? Lots of bandages, a key that I don't want. And some pistol ammo, actually. Okay, so that's the... Interesting. She really does like that. Very interesting indeed. Well, I guess, space for that, apparently. Don't need the shotgun ammo. Take the key, but don't really need that, to be honest. I think that's more or less fair enough, anyway. All she's got really is bandages.
Oh, you got yourself a bargain, didn't you?
Don't go that far. Gave you a Lee Enfield rifle in exchange for a bandage and
You need anything, Molly will
some
be-
bullets. How am I doing? I'm not maxed out on pistol ammo yet, so that's okay. Shotgun's ammo is maxed out, but it's the only one that is. Okay. I would like to find another double barrel though, so I can upgrade that. Not as much as I want to find another the high power though. So there isn't. Yeah, I don't think there's a direct way through to Casterfell Woods. Go over there, hit the interchange and sneak through. You know actually what I know what I'm going to do. We're going to go through the sewer tunnels. Because it's as direct a route as any. And might be interesting. Actually, I was going to say it's probably a bit more convenient. It will come out nearer where I need to be, but it won't in hindsight. There's a couple of things I would like to check out, though. Go ahead and assume there are bad guys here somewhere. Yep, outlaws apparently. I thought I might have opened that door, but it looks like I didn't open it. It's not a major issue, but it looks like it didn't. Where are you? One, two, three, four. Okay. There's a druid there.
Who's there? Leave here or die. You will be more use dead. Help me! I'm really hurt.
Ah, crap. Thought you were an outlaw, not a druid.
Let's see what's going on.
Someone's been. Oh, you little.
That was crap. Somebody's shooting at me from somewhere, I don't know where. I am regretting certain decisions though.
I'll take a shot.
Where are you now? This is not going so well. Woo! Miss me. Right. Where are you, you bugger? Fuckers. I was me shooting your buddy in the back and having fall off a ladder. Probably a little too early though. I suspect he's going to get back up again. Yeah, looks like he has. So if he's going back up that ladder again. He ain't getting up again. I thought I might have hit that one in the head, but no, apparently not. You're definitely have to try and climb that ladder again now. I'm going to really enjoy sticking another arrow in you. You are. Better have lots of arrows left, you lot, because not overjoyed about the number I've just used. Oh, tough, you guys ought to be looking like bloody hedgehogs right now. Few there. Few there. Don't know quite how well that went, but could have gone worse. Yeah, I thought so. Thought I had failed to unlock that when I was in there last time. Not the end of the world though. I have a feeling this might come out in at least as convenient a place if we go this way. Climbing down a ladder and my heart rate's going down. Weird. Atomfall Woods. If I'd gone the other way, I'd have not had a fight, would I? Still a maintenance key I think I needed that I didn't get in here. Or did I? I'm now trying to remember. Key items. Sewer tunnel key. Yeah, I haven't found the sewer maintenance key yet. So, I am here, whereas the other entrance is back there if you go up top, which makes not very much sense. I did want to come down here first. But yes, given where we are, might as well just drop a quick save. And loop back around that way. Okay, cool. Cool.
What are you?
All are one, and one are all.
Don't mind me.
Keep your eyes open. I heard something. Must have spooked them.
Well, I'll give you that. You did kind of spook me. You are a spooky mofo. So we came this way back when. Found ourselves in a stone circle without really realising where we were. Or the significance of it. Well, I did. That is also even more spooky. Now I'm looking at it with a bit more knowledge. Heard the soil. I heard the soil, I'm sure of it. The voice that so many of my brothers and sisters speak of, the clarity, the certainty amid the chaos, it's all true. Filled me with such joy that I finally understood the purpose that they speak of, the need to serve the need to serve together to bring about this change, this rebirth. Everything will change for the better when we do. Everything. Something seems a little bit brainwashy here. Now, if I don't pick up a fight, I should not be in trouble, according to what Mother Jago said. course, she said that before, and I ended up getting in a fight, so... We'll see what happens.
It's good not to be anyone anymore.
Big to differ. Stupid weirdos. Well, I don't know where I've gotten myself into and whether or not it's a good idea, but there's lots of skillies around. Lots of creepy coloured plants. Oh, I could get the spores if I had the appropriate skill, but I don't. Okay.
People were a mistake.
Well, you're not wrong on that one, I'll give you that.
You are troubling.
There's you with the glowy blue eyes, eh? That looks like the direction I'm probably meant to go.
You think chaos.
Kinda do, yeah. Just conducted well with prime range. Us would need more context and information, I think, though. Oh, he's got antlers tied to his head that he's painted blue, okay. But they're all got glowy blue eyes down here, and I don't like it. Hi.
I'm not scared anymore.
Bloody am.
You are troubling.
But they won't attack me as long as I don't do anything stupid. That's what it would seem, anyway. I think if I go this way, it should lead me to the exit. I'm not lost, you're lost. Yeah. Yeah, I've got to admit, they're, you know, this situation doesn't appeal to me either. Furious Prime Crossbow. I've no idea right now whether or not a crossbow with the new changes and stuff actually can get to the level of being good or not. Don't know one way or the other. I'm also not sure off the top of my head what conductors does. You should know our gratitude. We owe a great deal to the herbalist Mother Jago. Her tonics allow us to work close to the soil and hear its voice without our bodies being broken by its brilliance. They can get infected, but don't become feral. We must bring offerings to her in recompense. Any food we can spare, fresh tools for a garden, may bring them to her home in the old mine. She should know our gratitude. Yeah. Well, we worked out there's a lot more of a relationship there than she was first letting on.
Be a threat.
Yeah, there's definitely some games where crossplays are fun. Skyrim springs to mind, actually. Conductors is limb damage? I mean, crippling. Well, actually, it might change its name. It probably has changed its name, I would assume, actually, thinking about it. Limb damage is about to get a lot better. If you're going for something along that road, I would wait until June when the next update comes out, because limb damage will be getting massive overhauls and buffs in June. So I can say that much. In the meantime, well, Prime's extra damage for everything, although producing the ammo is significantly more difficult. So there's a question of how much ammo you get compared to the like for the resources you actually have to use, that sort of thing, and how easy it is to get more of it, which daily ops might help you with. Actually, you should be able to get a decent amount of you should be able to get a decent amount of ammo if you complete daily ops, especially with sort of low fire rate, high per shot damage set up like a crossbow. Now this really does look like the sort of place where I'd want to leave an offering, doesn't it? But tell me, as long as I possess the offering, the druids in the cave will let me pass unless they cause violence myself. Might just speak and give entrance. Offering to leave at the foot of the figure. Well, actually, that's not it then, is it? Although I've got 8 skill points now, so I can basically choose whatever I like. Bow focus is slow time. That's appealing. Throwable radius is also appealing. And damage. Thick skin is reduced damage from melee attacks, specifically. Surprise attack dealing more damage. No. Increase maximum health is not the worst idea either. Honestly, I'm not in a tearing rush to put points into bow skills, really. I'd rather move away from bows soon, I think. Because I'm going to be moving out of the woods. I think bows are going to be less useful elsewhere. So I think throwable damage I'm going to go for. Yeah. Thick skin is that one. Low health regeneration is faster, restores more health. Increased max health, that would be nice. Survivability. Quite movement I've already got, haven't I? Food grant a damage resistance buff, durations, 3 fingers, crafting speed, charisma. That's tempting, but I actually don't really need it. Yeah, okay. That's fine for now, I think. So I'm guessing it must be somewhere down here that I need to drop that off. I won't be peaceful for long. Well, we'll see. Limb damage is when you're thinking about getting. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say down the drain. If you want to go for it, tuck it aside in your stash box and come back to it in a few months when the massive overhaul to limb damage happens. Those people who watched shot the druids will. We're going to drop a quick save. Because they might turn hostile now I've done that. Okay.
You have come to us last. It was
inevitable. Your place is with us.
Interesting. There's a head up there. Possibly a person. You're dead. Everything here is dead. How can you talk? This is foul. How can some abomination like you be? Yeah, there's a little... I'm thinking fungus, mycelial kind of awareness taking over control of a dead body to speak. Mother Jago sent me here. I think I'll be honest for now. Okay, that wasn't very helpful then. Interesting. Not actually the voice, just something referring to it.
The voice shall not ever dim, as long as the sun rises and the rain falls, and we speak through the voice. We don't know you. We are in bliss. All else is lies and ignorance. Mother Jago is close to us and grows closer. Follow her words. Heed her wisdom.
Well, let me go. I want no part of this. I'll see you all burn. Okay, I'm going to agree for now. I can always take a different route later.
Go there, and you will be lost no longer. Find the purpose.
So whoever that was... they are not the voice the jury are claiming to hear. There's some weird effigy that is telling me about that voice. Possibly some mushrooms that are being controlled. Unless, of course, it is all the same thing and they're trying to conceal their identity, which is possible. No, you picked up the wrong one. Oh, that's awkward. It's unfortunate. I've already been here. Probably not. I mean, worst case scenario, you can always sell it again, stick it in your own vendor. Perhaps they're not that hard to come by either. Some stuff being stored. Oh yeah, it reminds me. Rebellion put out some stats about Atomfall.
I think.
Are you good for healing burns? Should I be calling you aloe vera? That's because the accent is. Eesh. Don't mind if I do. Perfectly good joke there, Steve. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Joke was almost as good as my imitation old lady voice that it has to be delivered in. There's definitely some weird shit going down, that's for sure. Of course, they're purporting to tell me the truth, but their version of the truth, it may not be
understanding now, my dear.
Yeah, no. It's all point of view involved in this, I think. Oh, Mother Jago, you bleeding weirdo.
How do you feel?
Did you know the druids were trying to turn me to their cause? Yes. But I don't feel there's a bigger power at work here. I don't know how to feel. Druids tried to brainwash me. There was a body in the effigy. A sacrifice. Shocked. I've been beginning to feel there's a bigger power at work here.
You can't see if you don't open your eyes. You have promise. Now,
I have questions.
are you willing to let yourself understand, my dear? What has happened? What is happening here is no disaster. It's the salvation of us all. A happy accident wrought by the meddling of those foolish scientists. That much must be clear, surely.
What's clear is you're more crackers than Jacobs. You told me you'd offer me an escape from this place. You're justifying everything that went on here, Quarantine. What form will this salvation take, exactly?
There's power in the ground we tread, in the breathing earth herself. And it wants to bring all humanity together with the soil. Imagine such a thing. Listen, separateness, you and I, life and death. It is all an illusion. Hard to let go of, my dear, but an illusion all the same. Why not give it up and live in eternal bliss? Look around yourself, dear. Folks steal, they oppress, they kill. It is for the betterment of themselves that they made their heathen technology and severed our bonds with the land. That is why we must give it all up as sacrifice. Their machines, their minds, all that they ever were, all to repair those bonds. The earth gave us life and the strength which lives in us. It is our joyful duty to return it all to the soil. The land needs must breathe, and so we breathe our Mayflower lives back into it. That is our purpose. Join us. The earth welcomes those who go willingly. It is the only true path out there. Are you ready to see where it leads?
I'm all for this living closer to nature thing. And, you know, well, we're in better harmony with it and not destroying the environment and, you know, the planet on which we depend for our survival. However, what she's purporting in terms of giving up individuality and becoming one with the soil sounds like the goal of a mushroom. You know, as in, what does a mushroom want? It wants everything dead so it can feed on it, because it eats decaying matter. So yeah, it sounds just like whatever this voice in the soil is that they're purporting to want to become one with is basically just a giant semi-aware mushroom that is trying to feed on everybody. Maybe that's wide of the mark, but what she's talking about is certainly no more on the point than anything else is. It's just bizarre. Giving up individuality, well, you know, one species, a tree is one thing, an animal is a whole range of other things. People are something else. It's just part of the nature of the thing. So it's not exactly the most natural thing to do, to give up the basis of one's, nature. Nature of a human. She's a bit bonkers. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure robbing people of their will is exactly the thing, as much as having them willingly surrender their individuality and self. There's plenty of creatures and animals out there that, you know, hive minds and stuff like that live that way, and that is their nature. It is not human nature, though. So, yeah. Like, if she wants to live that way, that's her business. And it's a little bit same as running away from your problems and sticking your head in the sand, but Yeah, I'm all for the whole closer life, closer with nature thing, but I think her approach is a little bit crackers. Basically, yeah, it does sound like they just want to become mushroom food, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm not going to go extremely over there and try and antagonise her too much, but I'm going to back away from it.
It's difficult for anyone, but give it time. The truth appears as a beautiful garden as the fog of ignorance fades away. Look, if you do one more thing, it may become clearer for you. There's a divine thing under that atom plant. Something the scientists found buried in the soil.
Oberon.
They called it Oberon.
Yep, thought it might be.
The military and their fondness for code names. But it is so much more. And it needs to be fed. We can help it grow and heal the damage that science has done. The Boffins had a hiding place for their work. Perhaps you are familiar with it already. They called it the Interchange. It's been dozing there for 5 years. The voice speaks of it often. Reawaken the Interchange, and you will open the way to Oberon.
Yeah, you know what I was saying about a mushroom colony under the earth that wants to feed on everybody by, having them give up their will, become one with the mushroom colony and become mulch? What she's saying here is leaning more and more into that angle. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I mean, you die of old age eventually, you break down, you feed the earth and all that, that's fine. I'm going to not accelerate that process any more than I have to, though. Tell me about Oberon. That I want to know about. I think. Yeah, that whole connection thing is interesting, but it doesn't mean I want to become mushroom food, I don't think, Steve, which seems to be what she's going for. Many victims who didn't sign up for it? Yeah, they do kind of kill random people gladly, but that's just crazy people being crazy. Yeah, like I say, they do what they want. It's the same thing with just about every kind of religious perspective. My way is the only way is not really an acceptable approach to religion, really. Unfortunately, it's the majority of people's approach to religion. Anyway, see what she knows.
My dear, how I'd love to know what form it takes.
It turns out to be a giant mushroom.
Soil sings of it, and we'd be fools not to listen. Listen.
I don't know that I agree.
Windscale awaits you, but first there is something we need. A scientist came to me soon after the disaster, trapped here and still alive, but he was done for. Fading slowly, poor mite. He told me of a secret, that in their laboratories they'd found some stuff. A serum, he called it, that could make the new growth spread like fire. That serum is what we're after. And now you are here to find it for us.
I think not. Tell me about it.
Well, that's the joke, isn't it? Scientists made it themselves. You had any of the learning juice they have in the Warrens? That's the very stuff. Only this scientist, he said there was a more powerful mixture of it. Maybe that's what's needed to awaken Oberon. Think of it. Awakening a god who will unite us all. No more wars. No more atom bombs. Not even a crossword.
Wow, there's a number of newspapers will be sad about that. Yeah, I'm not sure I can agree to this. Sorry, hon.
Then take time to think about it. But not too long. But just remember that others lie. Even if they can offer you a way out, you might not want to pay the price they ask.
Well, turning everybody into mushroom food is not a price I'm going to be paying, don't you worry.
There's only one true escape. And it's the one I can give you. When you're ready, I'll be waiting for you here.
No thanks, you crazy bish. No thanks. Right. Well, it was interesting, but... So what else have we got? And that is potentially sort of here. It's not. How are we doing for time? Actually better than I thought. Yeah, Mother Jago I'm not going with. Joyce maybe, voice on the telephone I'm not entirely trusting of either. Traitors. So that can go up there as well, because that's on the to-do list as well. Well. Nice, I should take all this stuff off right now, see what I want to do in the short term. Atomic batteries. Needs to be up there. One is standard. Go. Customer data store. And that I need Dr. Garrow for as well. That needs to be up there as well, I think. Yeah, I'll have that one up there as well. Which is, I think I'm going to move in that direction soon. Yeah. Cool. Right. Best route back to the interchange, I think, now. Under the bridge, maybe that way? I think that's more of an up and over than an under, but fine. I choose both. Interesting. Yeah. Well, the Blueskin trader is... We don't really know what happened to him, but he seems to have kept his mind. I think you're forward and to the right. But the ferals, again, some of them do seem to have become what they are involuntarily. But it's also possible that some might have exposed themselves to the infection and stuff deliberately. But otherwise, they're basically not much more advanced than animals following animal nature, so far as I can tell.
There. Oh, come on! Oh.
Just kind of hoping the bees might take these guys out of it. They do seem to be doing that.
Off with you. You're not welcome here. What the?
That was not what I had in mind.
You proper buggers.
You are now, yeah.
Oh, come off it. You're fine, pal. Hey? What? I'll find you if you're out there. You're fine.
We'll
Keep
see,
going.
won't we?
Watch out! You'll be all right.
That certainly went some way towards messing these folks up. Whew.
bugger playing with me.
Can it absorb memories? There's nothing to suggest that. Nothing to suggest any kind of learning going on or anything beyond instinct at this point. People are saying, oh, there's a voice, but that could just be hallucinations. Again, there's nothing more to suggest anything beyond that. At this point, everything is still rather ambiguous. Don't need that shotgun. No, don't need any of that. Would like the arrow back, but we can't have everything. Yeah, not convinced right and wrong really factor into it. Although when it comes to arguments to destroy the world or prevent them from doing it, it's all in the approach really. Not in favour of just allowing them to do it, but depends what you're doing to prevent them. Does it have knowledge? So far, I haven't seen anything that makes me think... no, we've had no contact whatsoever with this Oberon entity, whatever it may or may not be. We've just had some people who have ideas about what it might be, suggesting what they think it might be. It's not got any actual evidence to support it. It's not that I've seen. Oh, hell, from what I've seen, I couldn't even confirm that Oberon even exists.
Honest with yourself? Not really how I imagined retirement.
Thank you very much for the sub, though. Yeah, I'm not in favour of the idea of taking away people's free will on the whole. On the other hand, I've seen what people do with their free will, and there's certainly plenty of people out there who have it who shouldn't be trusted with it.
Nothing here, of course. Oh!
Nice. Kind of rebalances that, doesn't it? Now, where's everybody else? There you are. Ooh, nice. Oh, maxed out on rifle ammo. That's a surprise. There isn't any evidence at all that points to the contrary right now. How are you doing, Tiggy? everything we've got is wild speculation and something that could very easily be hallucinations. A lot of people being exposed to a chemical and saying they're seeing all this stuff as a result, but that sounds like the textbook definition of a hallucination to me. And I don't want to store this sort of stuff. It's not really worth it, but I also kind of don't want to carry it around either. I'll stash it for now. I'm actually going to stash this lot because my current plan might require something slightly more beefy than a Molotov. I think the bow can go as well for now, because I don't see myself using that. Yeah, I think for now that's where we're going to go. Cool. Look, 45. Cool, I should be alright. Okay then. Yeah, problem is punishment doesn't work on everybody. I can't think of anything more punishing than taking away their free will, really. Of course, that assumes people deserve to be treated with respect and things like that, and they really fucking don't. They deserve to be disposed of, most people. Certainly the ones I'm thinking of, anyway. It's like kicking a football. There's nothing wrong with kicking a football. I have no more value, some of these people, in my book. Don't think there's anything else there. Yeah, animals respond to a lot of the same stuff we do sometimes. Then again, we are just animals. Complicated ones, but still. Right, remember my way through here. So, we have the robotics area down here that we opened up last time, so... Oop, that's a wall. There we go. This is going to be an interesting place to explore, and potentially an immensely dangerous one, so save it first for starters. Nah. I mean, death is cheaper. Now, there is a big old angry bot down there. And that's probably a machine gun turret, because we saw one in the other room. And it looked like that, but I can't really see any details. And I know I need to get to robotics and get through... Oh, hang on. Through robotics to find something. And... to be honest, I'm not really sure why I'd want to explore the robotics facility. Other than... getting to the site office. Presumably finding more information. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Oh. Well, my problem with that is animals don't know any better than behave the way they do. Humans do know better, and yet they go ahead and behave the way they do anyway. What that really leaves is humans having less excuses. Ooh, interesting. Need a keycard to get in there. Still not sure why I'd want to at the moment, but still. Ooh. I don't know if that robot is hostile or not, but I would assume it is. Only that they have less ability to make conscious choices in terms of their behaviour. That would be the major difference. And to weigh the consequences of their actions as far as they affect other creatures. Capable of weighing them as far as they accept themselves, but not any further than that. I have to run there, I was getting shot by that turret.
Robotics personnel. All dosimeter badges must be handed in promptly on the specified dates. Radiation is no joke.
Allegedly a way through. Oh, I think that was the same. Oh, crap. This is maybe not going to go so well. I'm not really in the best of spots. I need to get through there, I think. It probably is worth. I don't find myself particularly sympathetic when it comes to human suffering generally. Not when the suffering one deserves it. Oh, everything seeks to have its young survive, pretty much. Yeah, what's completely mindless though? And is it completely mindless, or do we just not know what's going through its head? Well, that didn't get me very far. It just took a couple of years of my life through stress. I think I probably need to go the other way and try and get through that door then. Would appear. He says. 10 o'clock. So bravo, I'll be there, won't it? Cheers. There, yeah.
Mindful robotics personnel. Geiger Muller sweeps are carried out 3 times daily at 800 hours, 1600 hours, and midnight. Store all sources at those times.
Target spotted.
That's not ideal. I got slaughtered there. Is it possible to say whether or not some things are capable of developing motion? We can't recognise it, maybe, but it doesn't mean it isn't there. This goes... I think I might know where I am, yeah? Ah, yes, I'm up here, okay. Ooh. Ah, that's the other door in there. Okay, that's interesting. Right, okay, let's connect it all that together. Past that turret would be easy enough without the robot. Am I trying to do this too early? Is that what's going on here? And I should be exploring this later? Because I'm kind of thinking I might be. So if what I'm seeing is correct, then I'm going to need to switch these things off. Back somewhere a bit safer, and then I'm going to peruse some notes. Investigation. There we go. Al told me about a scientist who used to drink at the pub, spilling secrets about signal redirect, among other things. Suggests that Nora, who hides out in a blind Skithermore, might know more about that one. This thing here. I don't know, I've got all of this stuff. But I kind of know that I need a signal redirector, but... Is there another way down to the lower level? Down this way, yeah. There's a train in there, that's interesting. idea here. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I've got an idea. It's going to swing this way, and I'm going to need somewhere else to go when it looks back. I'm in a very tight spot here.
Reminder for robotics personnel. Geiger Muller sweeps are carried out 3 times daily at 800 hours, 1600 hours, and midnight. Store all sources at those times.
Oh, man. Literally through there? Can I open this door? I can. Nice. Oh, we made it. It's interesting. Still much of trespassing, which is not terribly surprising. That's there. Whatever I was looking for is obviously on the other side in there somewhere, but that's not the time to go into attempting to use the metal detector, I think, so I'm just getting myself into trouble there. Another 1911! Oh, cool. Where was that? It's got me some way down here. Don't need to run in there, really, do I? Just go straight from the crafting menu. So, stock 1911. We can do that. To see how it compares to my other one. Nice. So that's supposedly a stock 1911. It still looks rusty as hell, which is interesting. Average damage, average range, low recoil. Average damage, average range. So it should be better now, that. It's a bit light where I can actually see this thing. Yeah. So there we go. How many rounds does it take? 7. So I think the other one held a bit more, didn't it? Can't remember. But I think that's technically an upgrade right now, so till such point as I can upgrade this thing again, I can get stored. And there was a note I picked up, but I didn't get time to read. Running Fankin in the signal redirector. Temporary quarantine my house. 2 days since the explosion, still no sign of an evacuation plan. We need a guarantee. We need that device Dr. G. Garrow, presumably, was developing. The signal redirector and used it to remotely fiddle with power cables. Frank Stevens helped make the device. He might be hiding out robotics. Head down there and look for him. Okay. Well, I definitely put elephants on the nearer to human end of the scale, assuming there is a scale that is worth a damn anyway. I'm not convinced by. And yeah, I don't think these things for ivory is a height of stupidity anyway. I don't think something out of need is one thing, but if you haven't got a need to do it to survive, then it's just no different than hunting people, really. Wire brush and some oil take care of that surface rust. Yeah, for sure, Steve. Yeah, but dolphins are not a nice species, contrary to their cute appearance. This looks weirdly ominous, actually. This whole tunnel and things. We've got a map of this area yet. I mean, allegedly, but I'm not actually any the wiser for having it. This is not rotating, which is not helpful at all. Okay. Security. That seems like a place that would be both interesting to go and really dangerous. Probably open from the other side from the look of it. Robot assembly. Yeah, I feel like pulling that lever is likely to turn on a half-completed, very angry robot, and I don't feel like I want to do that. Oh yeah, I upgraded that gun, that's why I needed scrap, wasn't it? Yay, rats. That'll go better if I press the right button. Interestingly, these rats also have the glowing blue eyes of the ferals. I don't think I'll do anything about that. Yeah, it's grim, isn't it? A lot of mouldy food suggests that the people down here have probably been dead for a while. Speaking of, what happened to my health while I was getting attacked by those guys? Oh yeah, that was what I was going to say before I got distracted. Rebellion put out some stats over, well, yesterday I think it was actually, about how this game has performed and such. Over 2 million players, which is really cool. A decent number for any game, let alone it's a relatively AA release, so that's cool. Game Pass going a long way towards helping with that, I suspect. But control room admin research, okay. And they're also put out a whole load of stats related to things like how many cans of meat people have eaten and stuff like that. And it's those amusing stats that developers are wanting to share on occasion. It was quite entertaining.
Status report. Experimentation wing offline. Administration wing offline. Secure laboratory offline.
Some worrying noises. Don't like that sound. Spent battery storage. Stay out of there for now, I think. I thought the sound was coming from your dryer. Yeah, it is sufficiently spooky for that. More robot assembly. Power control. Lower level. There's a lot of things that are worrying me with some of this stuff. Art reader. Interesting. I'm curious about these pewter tankards, I have to admit. There's plenty of dolphins will go out and inflict suffering on other creatures, including their own species and others, simply because they can and they enjoy doing so. Alright, for Dr. Stevens. Frank, I've received prototype signal redirector. It's perfect, exactly by design. Already tested it out and it works like a charm. On our power networks, I'll be keeping this one as my own. No need to tell anyone. They'll only make a fuss about me routing power without proper permissions. So, if I want to route power, I'll need a signal redirector. And we're looking for... That seems to have power, but some other things don't, interestingly. Oh, I don't want to press buttons until I know what the buttons do, not in this game. Which is an interesting turn of events. Haven't seen any sign of the power control room. I can't open the door without more power. I would need to redirect, presumably, for that. There's a corpse. Who's this? Blue glass and chemicals. Okay, I didn't go quite what I was hoping it was. I was looking for a note or something, but I didn't get one. I'm guessing I won't be able to get too much further here. No power for that. We went in there before, didn't we? It's the battery storage. Didn't come up here though. And requires storage room key. Haven't found a storage room key either. Lots of levers and things I pull, but I really want more information before I start pulling levers when there's half-completed robots and stuff down here. Yeah. No, they're not any different from us, really. Sadly. There's higher level of awareness and stuff. It seems to be as much a curse as anything else. would need a key to get there, and I'm guessing we'll need to. So I don't see a way to progress any further in here right now. There are levers I could just start pulling levers and pressing buttons, but I'm distinctly concerned as to what might happen if I do. There's no information about it. The signal redirector would allow me to activate power in other areas. Can't get into the control room. Sure what's in the control room either. The only door's over there and I can't get in. Well, there's a door back there. Double check there's no corpses around here or anything with any notes on them. Pretty sure it's just cloth, yeah. Still a few rats kicking around there. No sign of the nest though. I couldn't find any sign of one. That's a lot of them. Yeah, I saw that crack in the wall that they came in and out of, but it doesn't seem to be a nest. I haven't seen any other sign of a nest either, so... I'll get my health back after I dealt with that lot. Well, yeah, that's very true. Well, let's quick save and start pressing some buttons, I guess. Zapping power into this robot body to no particular avail that I can see. Yeah, signal redirector is what I need for that. There's a key that I can't get to there. There's that yellow poison stuff up there. What if I start pulling these levers? Hello. Storage room key. I didn't see here. I think that's just trying to drop me a hint about how to destroy those robots or what their weak point is, but I'm not sure. The Oberite supply. Ooh. Page of research notes stated April 57. Wish the X-ray crystallography examinations had borne fruit, but its scatter seems random, which is impossible. There are processes here that we do not understand, yet must if we are to have any hope of synthesizing Oberite when the supply is expended. Its physical properties are astonishing, miraculous even. Neither the so-called atomic batteries nor the manufactured brains, oh dear, would have been possible without the stuff. We cannot admit the possibility that this is all we shall ever have. There must be a way. Interesting. Burn, is that what's going on down there? So I now have 6 points again. I was thinking rubble radius, thick skin wouldn't be bad. What's that? Increased maximum health would also be nice. Cost 6, I have 8. Okay. Tempted to do throwable radius. Increased health will be nice as well. I think I'm going to do throwable radius because I think I'm going to start running into robots I need to fight soon. And making my grenades more effective would be helpful in that regard. I think that's unreasonably generous, to be honest, Emmy. I think most of the species is well aware of what its responsibilities are and what it needs to do about them, and instead chooses not to, in full knowledge of the fact they should be doing the other thing. So that looks like poison. I don't know what that is. That might just be those batteries colouring the poison, so I think that's probably poison. I can't find some antidotes before I head down there, I think. I could craft an antidote. That's probably not such a bad thing, is it? Where's the open lead I found? Oh, it's a key item. Okay, never mind. Oh, the control room key card. Oh, cool. We're going to check that in a minute. Do that first. Rain completely bypassed the fact I'd picked that up. Oh, wait, no it didn't. There's no power, so... Even though I've got it. Oh, wait. There is. Never mind me. Cool. Progress. Blue. Or sticking, not sniffing. Button. Push. Not until I know there's nothing else to do. I wonder if you can buy those Bard mugs. Rebellion have a merch store with some quite nice merch on it, actually, for this game. And I haven't seen those Bard mugs on there. Or at least I don't recall seeing those Bard mugs on there, but I feel like they should be. Training simulant. Rad resistance. That might also be a thing that I need. Oh, yeah, I'm going to press the button.
Made a terrible mistake.
Okay, but give me 1 second. I will be right back, folks. Let me just give you something to stare at. Right, hey, we return. So, a slight issue there. We got a new Hoover recently. Exciting purchase, I know, but still. The preceding one had the slight issue of that it didn't suck. Which, you know, in the case of a Hoover, sucking is kind of a thing you wanted to do. Anyway, my much better half just used the new Hoover in an attempt to remove a large and probably very bitey type spider. Which, you know, good call. Except that where normally Hoovers would eliminate said spider, this Hoover did not. It just trapped it inside the dust canister thing. Like, there would be a bag, but isn't a bag. And it was just stuck in there. Fine, unhurt, the whole thing. It was just there. So that then presented a problem with how the hell do we get rid of the thing. So, yeah, I just had to go and deal with that. That was a very large, very vicious looking thing. So I'm kind of glad we got it dealt with. Yeah, and we learned a thing. That was the wrong button, but that's fine. Right, let's see what happens when we press the big button. Well, it went green.
This is Frank Stevens. The lower floor has been sealed and the lab powered down, as instructed. Only a signal redirector device can be used to regain access, and I'm taking that secret with me. The plans for the device, the prototypes, I'm going to bury them. There's a manor house in Skidmore. The soldiers will have cleared it out by now, so it's as good a spot as any. If anyone finds this message, hell, no one's getting back in here. Not once the quarantine is fully enacted. And if by some miracle you are listening to this, well, I am so sorry. The automated security will be powering up right about now.
Beck. So, if we want to get to the next stage of the lab, I'll need the signal redirector, which I kind of knew about, but that's going to be the next plan. Yeah, no, that voice would be my my better half. Would have been. Yeah, well, put the spiders out generally, but it's the bitey ones I'm not so keen on. I can go in one right now, can't I? Anyone else get weird Dalek vibes off those things? I'm going back up here where they can't get, just in case any more come out. See, that's why I took the grenades, and that is why I took the increased grenade damage and radius perks. Because that was a good plan. There we go, plans buried in Skidmore, okay. Well, the automated security seems to be a single robot, and 2 grenades made it sit down, so... So that's the front foot. There's a big old knee pad that's designed around kneeling, which is cool. So this thing's actually designed to kneel, so that you can get access to putting the battery in and out, presumably. That's a cool little design. Nice work on that part there. Still. Now I know I need to head to Skidmore next, which I kind of did know anyway, but... confused now, Steve. Yeah. Yeah, as a general rule, I try and avoid killing spiders if it's just, you know, unnecessary. A spider does what it does, and it does it without any awareness of the pros and cons to any other creature, as far as I'm aware. So it can't really be held responsible for its actions. So I'm not inclined to killing it unless I absolutely have to. On the other hand, sometimes you do. Yeah, my mate got one a couple of years ago, got a nasty false widow bite, and his arms swelled up like fucking baseball bat. Massive. Not what you want. So I'm particularly cautious about that. Oh yeah, the robot came out of there. That's the security thing, huh? It's an interesting definition of security. It's more like automated murder, but anyway. So it's not like they try and arrest you or anything like that. It's just like, no, find the one who hasn't got appropriate ID and fill it full of lead. Oh well, it's all good. Right. Yeah, the odd one here and there is not going to affect the greater ecosystem, that's for sure. Over that side somewhere, huh? Don't think I'm going to be able to get to it, to be honest. To make sure I'm clear of everything and sneak my way back out. Interchange is an interesting facility. Horsefly bites. I have heard about horseflies, but as far as I'm aware, I've never encountered one. And, yeah, I can live with that. Little by little, I should be able to make my way out of here. Yeah, it's the relationship with wasps that's the problem, but they're also a particularly aggressive species.
Stand clear of the heavy lifters during operation. Don't be a pulped Peter.
Don't be a pulped Peter. Well, that does seem like a thing I'd want to avoid being, yeah. I assume I can switch that bloody turret off at some point. It'll make getting through here much easier if I can, when I've got a signal redirector. Right. This way, I think. So our next stop really needs to be Skithermore. And there isn't anybody else I can really sell stuff to. Found out recording in the control room of robotics left by scientists who had sealed the rest of the lab when the quarantine was enacted. Recording said signal redirectors needed to access the rest of the place. Yeah. And the best route to Skethermore... Well, there's a couple of routes to Skethermore. There's... out this way in Wyndham. No, out that way in Wyndham. So... Sattondale, that's Wyndham Village. The interchange is really weird. It goes presumably under Wyndham Village for the most part. I think its primary location must be, because it accesses your Wyndham here. So that's where we started, which would basically be the extreme south. You can go this way and get to Skethermore that way. Skethermore's also over this. It seems to be generally over here from Wyndham Village. So this sort of area. Then you've got Casterfell Woods, which is out this way from Wyndham Village. You can't really access it, but we know the druids are tucked over here anyway. So it's up there. So you've got Wyndham, Sattondale, Casterfell, Skethermore, and then the lake and the Atom Plant over that side. So I feel like I would rather approach Skethermore, Wyndham for now. Got me that time. Third time. Yeah, oh dear, is somewhat our fault. But we don't handle that very well either. Ooh.
Nice and easy now.
Don't be daft.
You do, apparently.
Off with you, or you'll be sorry. Bastard!
Careful, won't get jammy twice.
Let's get this over with, aye?
Okay, now they're pulling out the firearms and they're coming at me all at once.
Okay, this is.
Dodge this. I'll go see what's what.
Bollocks! You're dead. What the? Good. Watch out! Hey! What? Oh, Jesus.
Jesus ain't gonna help you now. Still movement back there. Yeah, I think I saw an axe head appearing out the corner. That was not the right button.
You've had it. Heck!
Who's had it? Sorry, son? Oof. Ooh. Yeah, there's some movement in that direction, isn't there, Emmy? Of course, there's a question whether or not we'll be around long enough to actually pull that off, but seems slightly less likely. Airborne pistol ammo. Kind of surprised that the pistol ammo is still maxed out. Oh, it's over the top because of inventory management weirdness. Okay. Don't need the revolver, really. Those are the... I feel like I should have got more of them with the grenade than I actually did. I could get myself a top tier revolver if I wanted to. But I think I'd rather have the pistols. So I'll leave that as is for now. Will they escape from the zoos though? Depends whether or not they starve to death in there before they can get through the out the cages and stuff. I mean, obviously I hope they escape, but if the zoos have been properly designed, they shouldn't be able to. Big if, that. Very, very big if, but yeah. That's where I want that. How are we doing for time? 10 o'clock. I might quickly look up a thing. Ooh, nice. I should not have cleared that. Oh. There's something on sale on Steam that's on my wish list, so I cleared it without properly looking at the notification. What I want to do is double check what that shotgun's called. It is the Eastleigh Hunting Shotgun. Okay. Where the heck? All right, let's try that one. So I kind of want to know whether or not going back to Slatendale and hunting outlaws is a good idea to try and find another one of those shotguns, because I'm sure I found one somewhere else in the past, but I can't remember where. Okay, so that's useless. Location. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Don't need the chaff. Alright. Allegedly on some outlaws. Right, allegedly. Okay, so we'll have a quick poke around and see what we can see, I think. I don't think I'll have much luck, but we'll see how we do. other species would probably do better. We're not around to hinder them. It's more like isolated places like Britain that I'm thinking of in terms of the ability of populations to recover, at least in the short term. Right. Go, 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 go. Sneaky sneak. Go. Ian. No target here. Yeah, it's an excellent game. I do need to play again, though. Horizon Zero Dawn. I want to play the sequel at some point, but... as of yet. Opportunity and timing and things. I need a big old opening in my schedule and nothing else that I'm urgently trying to fill it with. Again, I'm really wishing I had binoculars here, because chance of finding outlaws with the right thing would go up if I could actually see them from a distance. Interesting view out there, though. I think the solar flares less likely than the asteroid, isn't it? Well, actually I don't know that, but what have you got that looks interesting? Enfield, I guess. Yeah, I don't suppose solar flares are going to do it. Solar flares have happened countless times over throughout history, and they're more danger to us and our technology than... yeah, that's an Enfield rifle. Than they are to most other life, I think. Still. Asteroid could do the job. Wonder if there'll be more gorse bushes on Scathermore. Should be, judging by the name.
Don't go asking for... Nice and slow now. Let's have no trouble.
I don't really want trouble. What I want to do is find one of your mates who's got the shotgun I'm looking for. Preferably 3 of your mates with the shotgun I'm looking for. We'll see what we can do. Well, that's somewhat true, at least, and on the other hand, asteroid strikes have happened thus far, and I really wish I had binoculars. Solar flares have not wiped out life on Earth, and yet way more solar flares have happened during the course of life on Earth existing. So, not that that's an absolute definition by any stretch, but
Steady now. Let's not have no strife.
Don't know what to make of that accent, to be honest. Yeah.
Let's just be calm.
It was yeah, a weird accent, but none of those guys have the weapons I'm looking for. Could just be very lucky. I mean, yeah, that's possible. We've been very lucky and the dinosaurs were very unlucky. I mean, there's no denying they were unlucky. But, relatively speaking...
Don't go asking for trouble or you'll get it.
It might have come from over here.
What's your mate
Don't go asking
back in?
or you'll get it.
Get that one.
Yup, that's right, you git.
Oh, so it's going, is it? I'm a bit annoyed about that because he should have been square in the head, yeah.
Prick.
Oh, nice swing, you. And dodge.
Come out. I know you're here.
Oh, well, he's got some cut. He's got a one-shot shotgun. That's not helpful.
Let's check it out. Well now, let's go. Back. I think they're retreating.
Fucking ain't. They're chopping you up before you can shoot me. That did not go the way I was hoping it would. At all. Well, we're not dead, so it could have been worse, but... Nearly out of time. Doesn't look like they've got what I want. That one doesn't look like they've got what I want.
Steady now. Let's be sensible. Just go.
Oops, I got hit there. I was kind of hoping I might have dodged that shot. Ooh, dodged that one.
You asked for it.
Well, I didn't actually, but... Did I get him? I think I might hit him in the arm. That was not good shooting. Still, let's get some of my rifle ammo back.
I got first pick of the loot.
Getting a bit annoyed about this guy's ability to survive being shot at.
Bastard! Ah, you little...
Oh, fuck it up.
Oi, heads up! Keep fighting. Whoa. Heads up, bombs out.
Come on. Light up.
You don't know what you started.
Ah.
You. Bombs away. I've killed far worse.
Go.
You little.
Go back to the valleys.
Whoa. You bugger.
I'm just dead now. I am regretting a number of decisions I made along the way here. Oh well. I feel like there's at least one more who's... belongings I ought to be able to acquire. Both of those. Both of those. Okay, maybe not. A couple further out into the woods. Ooh, that may be dizzy. Rusty Lee Enfield, nice. And this one's got at least one more bullet on him. Okay. Alright, well, that did not go the way I was hoping for. Yeah, but you're glad to have escape. Yeah, mostly. Although part of me is just like... whether or not it feels like that's kind of the way I want to go. It feels a little bit too modern contrivance in a way for the vibe of the game. But still. Do I have anything I'd like to sell? I mean, I could sell that molly and... She, never mind.
You need anything, Molly will be here.
Ooh, she now. So I could grab 2 rifles and flog of those in exchange for a... Do you have a terrier or a Lee? You had a Lee, didn't you? In exchange for a bandage. That might not be a bad idea. I'm going to eat that first.
Hello again.
I mean, alright. I'd call that a win. She really wanted that Lee Enfield rifle, didn't she?
Know where to find me.
I don't blame her.
You need anything, Molly will be here.
Yeah, that's the one thing with the whole life inevitable thing is that, well, is whether or not the Fermi paradox holds any water. Because I'm not quite convinced it does. I may be misunderstanding it. Right, let's head through to Wyndham and get ourselves set up ready to push on into Skidamore next time.
Attention! Wyndham Village is under the authority.
It's about that time.
Citizens of Wyndham,
Yeah.
a contaminated area has been...
I mean, the general idea is that we've searched enough of the galaxy and wider universe that if life is out there, well, if intelligent life is out there, we should have found some evidence of it by now. This is as I understand the paradox, and yet we haven't. Especially given the number of opportunities, yeah? But the spectrum of this, you know, the scale of the galaxy and universe compared to the amount that we've actually been able to search is actually... Yeah, the gulf is quite large. We've searched nothing, basically. So, being as we've searched basically nothing, and the universe is comparatively insanely humongous, the paradox doesn't really hold a lot of water. It's the bit that makes me scratch my head about it. I don't have any problem with the idea that the universe is big enough that we've just yet to find what we're looking for. Yeah, the has only evolved once thing could just be somebody had to go first as well angle, you know. If intelligent life evolves at any point, there had to be a first. If it occurs more than once, rather, then somebody had to be first. And if that's us, then... Oh dear. But yeah, it could well be us. So, the whole paradox is not as absolute as it appears to be or is made out to be. I thought I could smell the cat. I just spotted a shit down here. Right. Actually, that might have been a bad decision, I don't know. Screw it, utterly. Will it do? No, won't, I don't think. I will store that. I'll have an ordinary grenade if I've got one. Yeah. Otherwise... Okay. Cool. Even the age. Yeah, that does seem unlikely, but it would account for why we've not discovered anything else, or it's one way in which the fact we haven't discovered any other life would be accounted for. Yeah. But that only focuses on a single instance of life emerging on a single planet. There's some questions about what other forms of life and would we even recognise it out there that might evolve, which none of it accounts for really. It's all predicated on the idea that we would recognise that life when we found it, other life when we found it. It may simply be the case that we have looked it right in the eye and not friggin' noticed. There's too many gaps in the hypothesis for it to be particularly convincing to me. So that, I believe, is the direction to go to get to Skidamore. Yes.
Here to help and protect you. Trust us and help us to help you. Follow the protocol.
Give me your gun, please, sir. Yeah, I suspect it's more... there's something out there somewhere. It's interesting that we haven't found it, but... I don't suppose there's anything particularly absolute about that fact. It's just the argument that we should have found it by now, based on how much we've searched, is deeply flawed in my view. Which makes me think that I'm probably missing something in the argument, rather than anything else, but like, not only deeply flawed, really obvious flaw. But there we go. We'll see what happens. Well, either we'll see or we won't we? God knows how long it might take. It's possible something out there has got more advanced methods of detecting life and has taken a look at us and gone, fuck no, and stay the hell away from us. If it's in front of us. Or something could be behind us and with a long way or a little way, or who knows. And maybe things that have annihilated before we could discover them. There may be things that are just far enough away that we cannot detect them. It's like what we've actually looked at, we know there's a lot of other galaxies out there, but we've barely had any ability to look into them, certainly not detect much other than their initial formation, really. And we've seen more of our own galaxy, but that just really narrows down the amount that we know of. So there's so much more out there that we can't detect anything of. It seems more likely that we just can't see it. If it exists at all. I mean, there's also things like intelligent life would give off other recognisable signals, you know, like radio waves and things like that, potentially. Or other sort of byproducts of intelligent advanced life. So I think there are people out there looking for those sorts of things as well, and none of that has been found either. But yeah, and that does limit us to what we would recognise. Yeah, exactly. I mean, no bloody idea, really. There's too many gaps in the hypothesis for it to be particularly helpful, I would say, at least. It's a weird one, considering it's held up on occasion as being a big question. It's like though there is no answer to the question, the reason there is no answer, or there are a significant number of obvious potential reasons anyway. Anyway, going round in circles. Yeah, interesting bit of progress today. The druids have some funny ideas. Definitely not into them myself. I keep getting this vibe that they want everybody to be mushroom food, and I don't like that very much. If they want to be, that's up to them, but I don't particularly like the idea. So I'm not going to go down that road. And I want to find out more as well, which I need to do anyway. There's an interesting thing with the way the game's set up. I kind of got to the point where Mother Jago feels like she has a way to get us out of the zone, and she could do that now. But if I did that, then there's a whole load of the rest of the story that just doesn't get addressed. So she's kind of shoehorning in a way to send me over there to find out more. I feel it's a little bit like that, but I get the why. I understand it. But yeah. We opened up chunks of the interchange. We had a little poke around the robotics thing. That was cool. We need to go further in there. Well, we need to find a signal redirector, which we're going to Skethermore for, and to generally explore and stuff, in order to open up other areas of the interchange. I'm not quite sure why I need to get to the lower level of robotics really anyway. Other than the fact that access to Windscale and Oberon is only available through the interchange, and we can't get to that bit yet. So I'll need to bring it back online in order to progress forward. So I assume heading down there has something to do with bringing back more of it online, but we've got to turn the data centers on, and I haven't got access to Bravo yet. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of questions around that. Also need to figure out how to turn on hopefully some kind of ventilation system, because I think site data store alpha is full of poison, and if I go down there, it might be a bit much to try and survive that, unless I can find some way of clearing it out, maybe, that doesn't require me to just dose up on anti-poison meds and then go down there. But I don't know, maybe that is what I need to do. Could be biologically based tech? Possibly. Again, that's getting outside human understanding there. Yeah, be interesting to see what sort of stuff opens up next, because I feel like Skithermore was the last major region, but we're going to have to start bouncing between areas a bit more at the end of that, I think, because there's a lot to unlock still in the interchange, and I feel like there's a fair chunk of the story left still to explore, so we'll see how it goes. Be interesting. Yeah. Be interesting to see what's next. Anyway, plan next week is south of midnight Monday, Tuesday, Avowed Wednesday, Thursday, and then back to Atomfall again Friday, Saturday. So yeah, same as this week. Still got at least a couple of ideas in my head for videos, or sort of slots to slide videos into or something like that. So we'll see what happens on that front. Did the best builds video yesterday, so if you haven't had a look at that, some cool camps to have a check out of. And yeah, looking forward to more of this. I'm enjoying this game. It's got a really nice vibe that's just different from anything else I've played in a while, and I'm down for that. You can say the same about South of Midnight, actually, as well. Which is cool. I have to see what else is coming on down the pipeline, because there's a lot of maybes and stuff. I did see something about La Chimera, actually, the other day, which we now know was announced like last month, or will be coming out in early access at the beginning of this month. But they did seem to be suggesting that it's a potentially co-op story-driven FPS, but the story seems to be really, really, really short. So maybe there's a miscommunication there, or maybe not. If it's as short as they seem to be implying, which was 5 hours, I wouldn't bother getting a game that short. Generally, it depends what they want from it and stuff. They're also talking about sort of, I think, post initial storyline completion content. So I don't know. I feel like there's probably a miscommunication in there somewhere, or maybe a typo. Maybe it's supposed to be 50 hours. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I want to find out more about, and I'm a bit confused later on. But yeah, lots of stuff happening. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, we looked at Stygian Old Gods, or the demo for it. That one is due out this month. There was a new trailer came out from the people who made Barotrauma, and they're doing a train-based survival thing where you've got to keep a train running and some kind of post-apocalyptic frozen landscape. And the train is the only thing that sort of keeps you safe, but you have to stop to get fuel and upgrades for your gear and for the train, things like that, and materials, and combines that whole kind of moving train with stopping for more traditional survival elements. So that looked like a potentially interesting thing. Very much a B-tier game, or upper end of indie, really, rather than not AAA, not really AA, not quite indie, or maybe it is indie, I don't know. I don't know quite what the right word is in, somewhere in that region. So that looks interesting, yeah. Lots happening. Yeah, well, that'll be middle of the week. 76 is good. I'll just take the back burner because it's, a bit repetitive at the minute. So, streaming-wise, we'll have a look at some other stuff, I think. Stygian Old Gods doesn't have a lot of voice dialogue. No, it didn't seem to have a lot in the trailer, if I remember rightly. Looked like an interesting thing, though. Probably a relatively short thing, because horror games tend to be, so that's fine. I haven't got time to fit it in the rotation anyway, so maybe one day on down the line. Yeah, so much stuff I would like to play. So little time. We'll see. Anyway, time for chill, and yeah, a whole day of chilling tomorrow, because I could definitely do with that. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. Hope you had fun. Back to it on Monday. Should be cool. Oh, until then, have yourself a good rest of your weekend. That sentence nearly got away from me. Yeah, look after yourselves, stay safe. I'll see you all on Monday around about 8 o'clock for South of Midnight. Should be cool. Looking forward to continuing that story in particular, and just the general gorgeousness of that game, because it is quite stunning. So, yeah, till then, See you next time. Now, folks.